So we can start whenever you want. If you're ready to roll, we can roll.
I'm not doing nothing.
All right. Welcome to Podcast the Hero, episode 1. I'm Fritz, Ol Fritzy. That's just who people know me as on like socials and stuff. And I'm joined by my co-host from the other side of the border, Rody. What's going on, man?
Well, thanks for having me, Fritz.
You're not my guest.
I know. But you know what? It's nice to be had. Yeah, this is cool. You put in a lot of the legwork for this, so thank you very much. I'm fucking really excited about it. Really excited.
Well, good. I'm glad. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. First things first, you can find us on social media, Ol Fritzy, Rody Walker. I have Instagram and Twitter, and I'm on Twitch.
Ooh.
And yeah. And then Rody also has Instagram. He's got Twitter. I think he has Facebook.
Yeah, but I'd prefer no one follow me there.
He's got a Tumblr. He's got.
I did have Tumblr.
He's got MySpace.
Yeah.
He has.
Most importantly, I've got a TikTok, and I fucking love TikTok.
Rody spends all his time on TikTok. I also have a TikTok, but it has one video on it.
And it's a good video, though.
It's just me duetting one of your videos.
That's what I'm saying. It's
and
a
then
really
it's just
good
my
video.
face over and over and over, like the default thing, like the first option when you make a video. It's like, oh, look at this neat one. I went done, play, over. Like,
and all I can say is that it's a fucking really good video, and I like it. It's saved in my favorites amongst like 3 other videos on TikTok.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've saved any videos on TikTok. I just showed like your super viral video on TikTok when everybody's like, who is this guy? And I'm like, oh, it's this. Check it.
This is everything you need to know
All you
about
need to
him.
know about him. That's right there. Yeah, Mom, that's him. So what is this podcast about? So it's, I like to think of it as Protest the Hero adjacent. Or like Protest the Hero. There's like a tangential connection. That's why we call it Podcast the Hero. There'll be some PTH news stuff, stories, inside scoops, a lot of lying.
Yes.
We'll have guests one day. We'll talk about hockey. We'll talk about like cool things.
I really like that actually is a bullet point on what I'm looking at right now. It says, stories, inside scoops, lies, one day guests, hockey's cool things.
Yeah. Cool stuff. We'll talk about cool stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like today, for example, I saw a guy make cheeseburger buns out of French fries and cheese on a waffle maker. So we'll talk about things like that.
That's the first lie.
It's not a lie. It was 100%
That's a lie.
True.
I saw it too. It's a lie.
It is?
Believe
you try
me, it's
it?
a lie.
Okay.
No, I didn't try it. I know it's a lie deep in my heart.
What do you think this podcast is about?
Yeah, I think it's a good way to communicate with the people that listen to the band, because the band just sort of between records, if we're not touring or doing anything like that, we just sort of fade into the ether. And I'd like to keep people updated in what we're doing, because we're always doing something. And otherwise, I'd like to just talk to you, my friend, about anything and everything.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the next question for people is like, how do we know each other? Like, where? Well, people know who you are. So the people.
Who are you?
Exactly. People coming to this podcast will know who you are. People coming to this podcast will be like, who is this fucking dude? And why? Why this guy?
Can I describe who you are
You can.
for
You can.
everyone? I mean, hopefully, if there is this video component, they can see that you're a handsome, mustachioed fellow. What they can't interpret from these moving pictures is that you're gigantic.
Yes.
You're at least 7'2",
Yes.
I think.
Yep.
Albanian,
Yep.
I think, was your home
Something like
nationality.
that. Probably.
And you were born amongst the frost giants. I don't even know where the frost giants are from. I think it's from Marvel somewhere. So, fuck. No, but this is Old Fritzy. Old Fritzy isn't his real name. It's not
No.
even his real name. But you can't know his real name because it's one of those things. It's actually my doing. It's kind of how like a lot of really big celebrities don't let their children's names be
Yeah.
known on the internet.
Yep.
I am not a celebrity, but I don't let my baby's names out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So So I like to describe us as we're best friends who have met once,
Yep,
and we hung out for like a couple hours one time
that's true.
in a town that neither one of us lived in.
No, but a good town nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah. And we met through Twitch
Mm-hmm.
and Discord,
Yeah.
and I don't
You
know.
porn.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, I need to friend this guy. I need to see those private videos
Yeah.
right now.
See the comments that this fella's making on you porn.
I
Like,
gotta
not
know
fucking-
that guy.
Not the popular mainstream porno sites.
No.
We're not anywhere near that. We're still back in like 2004 on
Yep.
you porn.
You porn. Yep, that's it. That is yep. And then I tried to get you to dox yourself during a Twitch stream and you didn't. But
didn't.
then you tried to dox you were like, "I'll dox you." And I said, "Go right ahead." And then I put my phone number in Discord, and then he texted me, and that was his first mistake
That's true.
because now I have his phone number, and there's no escape now. He'll have to change his number.
And I never will.
It's so hard. It's such
Yeah.
a pain.
It really is.
Yeah,
You can even change carriers, and
yeah. It just follows you everywhere you go.
around everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pour a drink because I think one thing that I'd like to do on this podcast is
Yeah.
drink.
Well, I think that's great. That's
I'd like
awesome.
to try one beer every time.
a different beer.
One new beer. Tonight I'm just drinking whiskey because I don't have any beer. But
What kind of whiskey?
it's Jameson.
Oh,
I'm not trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. I'm just trying to get a little buzz on there.
Gary. The doc.
Can you please now if
No, I
if
won't
whoever
edit
ends up editing this, can you just censor that?
No.
Can you please censor it?
No, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it so that it says like somebody else,
Yeah, make like
or I'm gonna
make
really point it out and like.
Could you just edit in yourself just going Brian or some other fucking name over top of what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna leave it in. I don't care. Everybody,
No.
like honestly, everybody cares. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I know.
Like all the people, that doesn't matter.
But still,
They can find me.
Fritz, I'm just
It's fine. That's the whole beautifulness of it all. I love it. That's
but we can't have your mysterious nature spoiled in the very first episode.
Well, I'm gonna spoil some stuff about you in the very first
Okay.
episode a little later.
I'm excited.
So I have a little story that I'm gonna tell everybody.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that.
You never see people drinking on podcasts.
The very first podcast that I basically stole from. So I used to do a podcast. This is not my first podcast.
Holy fuck.
I used to host a podcast with my brother for like 5 years.
Okay.
And we did an episode a week for 5 years.
Good golly.
It's a
Did
lot.
you ever get a Manscaped sponsorship?
Nope.
Oh, you
Nope.
must have been good then.
Well, back then, I don't think Manscaped existed. We were just like fingers crossed that we got like stamps.com,
Oh.
something like that. But we never did. Nobody
I
ever
got to be
listened
honest,
to
a
us.
huge part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast is because I'm too poor to afford a lawnmower 3.0, and I'm just hoping Manscaped pick up on it like they seem to every podcast and
Yeah.
send me something like, my balls are a jungle, Fritzy.
Right now, you're just having to braid it. You got a scrunchie just to keep it out of the way.
For the love of God, Manscaped.
Help. Help this poor man.
Oh, sorry, you were saying.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You were
Oh
saying
yeah. So 5 years, right? And we basically stole our whole format from another podcast called Transmissions from the Bunker. And those guys were drunk the entire time. One of them was
Okay.
a priest.
So I imagine he was just drinking wine.
No, he was drinking just straight bourbon and
My,
getting hammered.
my
And so
days.
so I thought that would be an awesome idea for me. So I routinely got hammered. I slept through a lot of episodes. Slept.
Now,
Quote.
this sounds like a riveting podcast.
No, it was horrible. We did like 3 hours once on Purple Rain the movie.
Now,
Just
I've flipped past Purple Rain the movie a couple times
yeah,
on channel 39 growing up.
yeah. It's a good
I never
movie.
once. It's good.
No, it's not. The music is great, but the movie itself, the plot is terrible. I mean,
And all I know is that Vanilla Ice has a motorcycle. It's that movie, isn't it?
well, it's not. It's Prince.
No. It's Vanilla Ice, and he's got a purple jacket and a motorcycle.
That's correct.
I'm pretty
That's
confident
correct.
in this.
And he fights Morris Day.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I must have missed that
they're
part.
enemies. Um. So yeah, so like getting drunk on a podcast is a very normal thing to do.
Okay. And it's just not the ones I listen to.
Yeah, but you listen to all those like weird finance ones, like
That's right.
how to invest in mutual funds and shit like that. You're so
Which explains all my heady investments.
yeah. You're just so into it. Like I can't even get you to shut off CNBC. You just constantly got to watch those markets all day,
That's
every
true.
day.
I've constantly got an eye on the ticker tape.
Yep.
I put $200 into one of the apps that lets you put your money onto the stock market.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago. It's just sitting in the wallet still.
Yeah. You haven't invested it in anything?
No, I never invested in anything. Got too scared. I got brave enough to put the money in.
Like,
but
can you even get the money back out?
Probably not.
There's got to be like a fee, right? To take the money out, there's probably a fee, and so
No.
it's like 5%, and it's going to cost you $10 to take your $200 out.
I know.
That's kind of how it goes. I did the same thing with one of those gambling sites,
Oh yeah.
like sports gambling.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
I'm.
I don't know how to sports gamble. So
It's
like,
quite easy for
there's just stuff in there, and I'm like, I don't know how to choose which team is going to win.
Oh no, nobody knows how to do that. I lost. I lose money every day on that.
Well, because you just always pick the Leafs, right?
Well, I do large parlays where I'll pick a bunch of teams, and I always lose those. I've never once won.
I would
Never
think.
once.
I would think you just like always just put $10 on Austin Matthews to score a goal.
Yeah, but because he scores goals a lot,
Yeah.
you don't win that much money. Whereas you could put $1 on like Pontus Holmberg, and if he scores, which he did when I put $1 on him the other day, I got like $30.
Fuck that guy.
Well, easy.
He's one of the guys that scored the 4 goals against the Wings the other night. So him
The other night?
not this past game, but the game before when we played.
Oh, yeah, that would have been the game where I won.
Yeah,
I put the money on Pontus Holmberg.
yeah, I didn't like that at all.
No,
Him and
I did.
Tavares and Mitch Marner.
But hey, you win some, you lose some.
Well, yeah, we're like it's the season series is what 1-2 for the Wings.
Yeah,
2-1 for the Leafs. That's about right. I would figure.
but since 2017, it's
No,
what
we won our first game in Toronto since 2017.
against Toronto, not just in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to poke fun.
It's okay.
I like watching hockey with you. Fritzy's a Detroit fan. I'm a Toronto fan. And it's fun to talk, but when your team wins, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
That's okay.
Just for a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't your team's fault. My team played badly.
And
Your
they were
team played
missing
well.
and they were missing the best player in the game.
It's true.
So
Debatable.
who?
Whether he's
Connor McDavid?
yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
Listen, I'm not going to make any definitive statements. The reality is Connor McDavid's played a full season more than Austin Matthews or was drafted a season earlier and still has 5 less 5-on-5 goals than Austin Matthews. So Austin Matthews is the greatest goaltender.
Yeah.
Goal
scorer.
in the league.
Goal scorer. Well,
Like I believe that McDavid is the best, but
I don't.
you don't.
No, I think Matthews is the best player in the league.
I think he's the best. I was going to say the best natural goal scorer, but Ovi's still in the league, man.
Ovi is. I see a lot of similarities, to be honest, in the way Matthews scores his goals and the way Ovi scores his goals. Like,
I agree.
Matthews watched Ovechkin like early in Ovechkin's career as a kid growing up and went, that makes sense. I'll do that. And then did it. And I don't know why more people don't try and do that.
I'd like to say that Matthews is a little more versatile. Like you
you
see Ovi set up in his office, but the reality is I don't watch that much Washington because I'm in Toronto and like I don't know. I saw a stat last night about the percentage of his like fucking 800 plus goals that were scored from that spot on the power play, and it's not that many. Like it's not. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it would be more goals than like a fucking Zach Hyman's ever going to score in his career.
Right.
It's a lot of goals, but it's not a large percentage of his actual goals. He's a very creative goal scorer, I think, and he doesn't get credit for it.
I see similarities in the way they approach getting into position as well. Like
getting lost in the crowd.
Yeah. Austin Matthews, for some reason, for being the best player on the ice most nights, if not all nights, seems to get lost on the ice a lot. Like teams lose him. And like I find that's a skill that not many players have. Anyway.
Yeah, for like a 220 plus pound guy, like he can get fucking lost like no one else. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, he's very good at it. He's very good at like being somewhere where you don't expect him to be, that's not in the play. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he should be somewhere and he's not. He's back. Why is he? Now they're okay. And then
he's
puck's
just
in the back
circles,
of the net.
Man.
Yeah.
It's
impressive.
Sick as fuck. Cool as ice.
Cool as ice. Oh, that's the
Vanilla Ice movie.
So does that mean we can talk about Gleaming the Cube now?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
I mean, I didn't, but I think I might have seen a piece of that in a hotel. Is it really weird?
It's
like Jeff Bridges or something, and he's like going through some metaphysical state changes and shit.
No.
What am I talking about?
I don't know. But Gleaming the Cube is Christian Slater in the early 80s being a skateboarder who has to solve his adopted brother's murder.
Well, that sounds hot as hell.
Yeah.
Now, is Gleaming the Cube cool skateboarder lingo?
It must be. I don't know what it means.
Are you grinding the rails and you're gleaming the cube?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't know dick all about skateboarding, but if I was gleaming the cubes,
Yeah.
I can barely say that. That title feels like really oblong in my mouth, you know?
Yeah, it's a weird phrase.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. Hey, Rody, what's going on with PTH these days?
Holy, funny you should ask. We're just getting ready to go to Australia.
What?
Now, did you say why?
Well, it's summertime, so that's a draw.
That is a draw. Pliny asked us a while ago. He said, "You want to do this?" And we were like, "No, not really." And yeah, so he's a really nice fella. He does a great job at the guitar, and we thought, well, fuck. You know, we don't get to go down there often. And it's difficult. Like, it was a difficult decision because it's like flights are so expensive now that it's like it's hard to leave your family behind with the promise of little to no money. Not that they're not paying us well.
Right.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucking expensive to do.
Oh, yeah.
So we've ultimately decided to eat shit.
I think that's something about bands that people don't necessarily think about when thinking of like, oh, they're coming. When are you guys coming to Australia? Well, I don't. You got plane tickets for us because they're like $1 billion right now.
Yeah.
And as much as like you might get paid to play shows or get paid to be on a ticket somewhere, like what are you guys playing? Like 8 shows down there?
Not even 5.
5 shows? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like you got to think about like financial considerations and stuff. Like you got to pay for food, you got to pay for lodging, you got to pay for transportation.
Not even. They're paying for all of that.
They are?
Yeah.
They're just not paying for your plane?
Yeah. Which is totally understandable. It's like 20 grand to fly us all fucking there.
Could you pocket that money, leave now, and go on a boat? Like row yourselves down to Australia on a boat?
I mean, I don't know who would agree to that, right? Ben, we got on guitar, and Hank and HK's coming with us. He's doing the drums for us, which he works for Sheet Happens. He's fucking the sickest guy alive. I love him so much, and he's an awesome drummer. Those like Tim and I would take that boat. We would take that boat in a heartbeat because we're business owners.
Yeah.
These guys are just they're hired. And like imagine you got hired for some company and they're like, you're gonna get on a boat that's gonna fucking take you a month to get to Australia. This is a fucking 5-day tour and it's gonna take you 3 months to do with travel. The commute is huge.
Yeah.
I have no idea how long that boat ride would be.
It would be pretty long, I think.
Can I Google that?
Sure.
How long?
Well, you would have to get
boat to Australia.
and you should from Toronto.
From Toronto?
Yeah.
But you couldn't.
Yeah,
I'm going to say from Vancouver.
You could do it from Toronto. You just have to go out and then go up and around. Could you just go over top and under?
You go over top of the world?
Yeah.
Through Antarctica?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just do that.
Here's a weird thing. You Googleized it.
Yeah.
And Google says it's 29 days.
You were right on the money.
But it's on Celebrity Cruise.
Oh, that stops all the...
Yeah.
If you guys are running, 5 of you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody's just taking...
6.
6.
Yeah. We got a keyboardist now.
What?
Yeah. We need somebody to run the keys, man.
Tim's not going to do it?
No.
Well, that's nice. So 6.
It's a lie.
Oh, okay.
There is 6. The 6th member is our sound guy, Jonah.
Oh, Jonah. Okay, good. Okay. I was going to say.
Or as he will be known in Australia, Jarnar.
Yeah. You have 6 people. That means more time between shifts of paddling.
Oh, you're talking about rowing? You're
Yeah.
talking about rowing about?
Yeah, I figured just you guys in a canoe, like one really long canoe.
through like the fucking largest ocean of the world.
Yeah. Why not?
Because I hate canoeing. Like I've canoed on a lake.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Have you river rafted?
No. I own a kayak.
You've never used it?
I have a personal kayak. I tie it up to the dock. It's got a little cup holder. I'll put my beer in that cup holder, and I'll just sort of float there.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere in a kayak. Okay? I love fitness, but that's hard workout. Too hard for me.
My brother kayaked once. He says the first thing you got to learn is
in what?
Kayaking.
It's the first thing you have to learn is kayaking?
No, when you're kayaking.
You got to learn to walk first. Then you got to learn to.
So he was.
Imagine we're just taking fucking 9-month-old children, being like, "Get him in the kayak." It's the first thing he's got to learn. Kayaking.
You want some tummy time? You better fucking get in the kayak.
You better start paddling.
He was kayaking down some rapids, and he flipped upside down. And his instinct was to put his hands on his head to protect his head.
Okay, I get that.
From hitting the rocks and things. But he was wearing a helmet. So his fingers just got smashed between the rocks and his helmet. He said you gotta fight the instinct to do this to protect your head.
I would do this.
I would
to protect my face.
Somebody would say, "Hey, look, a kayak," and I was like, "Neat. What's over there?" Because I'm not getting in a kayak.
Now he's talking about like taking a kayak down the river and shit like that, right? Like my kayak is for lakes, and if you flipped it over, you'd just slip out of it. You would fall out. Yeah,
gotcha.
I would hope anyway.
He was in one of those ones like where you get all the way down in it and like.
Oh,
there's
you
the
got
rubber thing on you, and
what would you call that kind of thing? I want to call it like like a dickie or whatever. Like you wear that thing that makes it look like you're wearing a turtleneck, but you're just sort of wearing a neck of it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, but sort of rubberized.
Yeah, it's like a boat sphincter.
A boat sphincter. Oh my!
Yeah,
and you're just like half shit out it.
Yeah. A human gasket.
Okay, I like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to Australia.
Yeah.
You're taking an airplane.
Yeah.
The airplane takes 30 days to get there.
Yeah, seems like that. And then we're gonna do 5 days around Australia, every major city, I imagine.
Yeah, I've looked at the schedule. It looks like it.
Yeah, I mean. What country has more than 5 major cities? Give me a break, right?
Did you know China has eight cities bigger than New York City in terms of population? 8.
I mean, I didn't know that, but I do believe it.
8 New York cities.
Like we were in like a little fucking town on my 30th birthday, and I'm gonna butcher the name of it, but I'm gonna call it Guangzhou. Mm-hmm. Which just feels bad in my Canadian accent, but it was like they were telling us about how it's like a tiny little place, weird, and it was fucking huge.
Yeah.
Fucking huge.
Yeah. They have like cities that are like small cities that are 4 million people.
Yeah, of course.
You know. So you're gonna go do that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sightsee or anything while you're there? You gonna go like adventure?
Maybe we do have quite a few days off. Like it's 5 shows in 2 weeks, right? Which is like some of the best touring we've ever done is in Australia. Lots of days off. It's just fucking wonderful. But we'll probably do some weird shit. And by weird shit, I mean touristy stuff, right? Yeah. Like we always go to I got like 2, maybe 3 pictures just in the other room of myself in Brisbane. At the Lone Pine Animal Sanctuary holding different koalas. And like they're from different eras in my life.
But you like to go there all the time and hold a koala?
Oh, I love to go there and hold koalas. I'm not that sounds stupid. Sounds like I'm having a joke with you. Sounds like I'm tickling you. I'm not. They're very docile, weird creatures and they grip on you.
Yeah.
They got a little claw, Fritzy. and they'll grip it on you, and it feels good.
Do you feel loved?
No, you feel like it's trying to scratch you a bit, but it's just too weak.
Poor koalas.
Yeah, I met this guy the other day. It must have been the weirdest motherfucker I ever met in my life. And I know this is getting a little off track.
I told you
But
this is tangential.
he looked like really proper. Like we were at a birthday party. He looked like a politician almost. Like he looked clean is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
He was dressed well. He was well groomed. But he was fucking hammered drunk. I didn't realize that. Like I was talking to him, I was a couple beers deep myself, and he could see some of my tattoos, and he started talking about tattoos and how he fucking hated tattoos. And I was like, all right, cool.
Thanks for bringing that up to me.
And then he started talking. He's like, when I see a fresh tattoo, I scratch it. Right? And I was like, okay. And then he cited like 3 different examples of times where someone had showed him a fresh tattoo and he fucking scratched it. So I was sitting there looking at this guy and like I kept being like, dude, that's fucking assault.
Right.
Right? Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? And like throughout the conversation, I must have said, so you just scratched her? Like 4 or 5 times? And he was just like, yeah, oh yeah, left my mark on her. Right? Like just being like, what the fuck? And at some point I was just like, I'm pretty confident that this guy's gonna scratch me. Like I think that
he was giving you all the warning signs.
I know. He was waving a big flag going, I'm about to fucking scratch you. I don't know what I would have done. And he was holding a baby. He was holding a baby? Yeah, and he was like, this is a fucking completely true story. And he kept, like, with 3 fingers, he kept going, and I scratched her. And I was going, you just scratched her? This guy scratched her. Fucking baby in his arms. I'm going, that is the strangest man I've ever met in my life.
Do you think he, like, grows his nails and sharpens them to little tips on just those 3 fingers so that, like, really good scratches? Like,
I mean, maybe. He seemed to be under the mistaken impression that if you scratch a new tattoo, your scratch becomes a permanent part of the tattoo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not really how it works. Like, you might leave a little bit of a mark in the ink, but
that'd have to be a pretty deep scratch.
Yeah. It's a scratch is a scratch, right? Like, unless you're fucking
like
really getting
drawing
down.
Blood.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to Australia. Go to Lone Pine Animal Sanctuary. Yeah. It's beautiful. You can go in and just see the kangaroos, and they're just hopping around every which way.
Are you afraid they're going to box you?
No. I mean, some of them are pretty aggressive, no lie. And, like, they're fucking kind of jacked.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely jacked.
Yeah. But for the most part, they're, like, that big. You know, they're like a small dog, and they're just hopping around. And I fed one a gummy bear. Like Arp and I fed one a gummy bear. I should include him and at least incriminate him a little bit.
Australia doesn't care, right?
No.
Like in America, if you go to the zoo, they're like, here's what you feed these animals if there's the opportunity, and they have like the specific food for that animal, and then they charge you $15 for one of those foods, and it's like,
but it's just like pellets.
Or like, weird. Here's a leaf of lettuce. $15 leaf of lettuce to feed to this giraffe. Here you go. And but in Australia, they're like, fuck, gummy bears? Sure. Cigarette butts? Great. Whatever you want. What people don't know is kangaroos
honestly,
they'll sell you
goats. They'll sell you a sleeve of arrowroot cookies.
Oh.
You know arrowroot cookies?
Yeah.
Kangaroos go friggin' bonkers for them.
Do they eat the plastic and everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you let them.
Kangaroos are basically Australia's goats.
Yeah, they're fucking weird. Did you know inside their pouch there, it's all just like mucousy, bloody kind of guts and stuff?
Yeah.
I one of those kangaroos, this is a true story. One of these kangaroos came up to me. Hopped right up to me, had a little fucking Joey in her pouch. and I had a sleeve of arrowroot cookies, and I was like, I'm gonna give that little Joey an arrowroot. So I took that cookie and I reached down, I gave it to that little Joey, and the mom reached down, he took it right out of its mouth. She took it right out of his mouth, obviously. The mom took down, he took it right out, and ate it herself.
Good.
I don't know.
Did you know that baby kangaroos' legs are like really like weak and almost non-existent when they're born?
Well, they haven't used them before.
Right. And except that their like arms are like really well developed and they have these little claws and they come out of the mom. And
are you about to scratch me?
Yeah. And then they have to climb up mom with these little overdeveloped arms and crawl into the pouch.
Holy fuck.
That's how they get in there.
So they come out her butthole.
Yep.
And then they crawl up over her shoulder?
No, upper belly. They come out of the kangaroo's cloaca. And yeah.
They have a cloaca?
Probably.
Now that's the one hole, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one hole that birds have.
Now
it's the do everything hole.
Now for everybody that's listening, and by that I mean probably just high tops, the cloaca, it's the everything hole.
Yeah.
The birds only have one hole.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
They do everything with that hole.
It's their pleasure center. It's I can't imagine
how they
birds have any pleasure.
It's how they eat.
So it's their mouth?
Yeah, birds don't have mouths.
Fuck, birds have two holes then, eh?
Yeah.
Shoot. I've been operating under false pretenses this whole time. But their fucking piss shit fucking lay egg holes.
Yes.
Is just one holes.
One holes is a cloaca.
Yeah, the cloaca. I didn't realize that this podcast was going to be as informative as it is. Not on the topic of Protest the Hero, just on like general stuff like brood anatomy.
Kangaroos and cloacas?
Yeah.
That's the name of this episode.
Kangaroos and cloacas, yeah.
So what else? So you're going to go down there. You're taking Ben and Hank.
Yeah. Ben just had a weird fucking thing. I don't know if I should talk about it, but
he's not dead.
He had some bad abscess in his mouth, and he's on the mend. He's good, but if his treatment goes south, we might not.
Oh, because he can't fly.
Yeah, I mean, we have to go, right? We have to. Yeah. We'll have to figure something out. We'll have to probably run tracks for his guitar. Yeah. But that would be fucking awful.
Yeah.
For both Ben and us.
Yes.
But mostly us.
Yeah.
Even if Ben dies, that's mostly worse for us.
Yeah.
I think you would agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The scales are weighted in our favor.
Yeah. But I mean, I love Ben. Disposable.
Yeah. Disposable. Yes. You're not going to ever find a motherfucker that looks more like Luke and plays guitar that well.
I was like, honestly, this is all a scam.
I love Ben. I don't even know him that well, to be honest with you. I've known him for years, but he's a fucking mystery to me. An absolute mystery.
He was the nicest guy.
He is.
Just the nicest guy. Like, just wanted to chat and whatever and just hang out and talk and like just the friendliest dude.
But I guarantee you he's got secrets.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Like he's nice in that way that he's got secrets. I know he's got very dull knives at home. He said he had trouble getting through a tomato. He said his knives just glanced right off him, didn't go through him.
Well, is that really about his knives or is it about his tomatoes? Maybe his tomatoes are just like super jacked tomatoes.
Are you under the impression that I'm talking about him cutting into his arm?
No, I'm talking about like maybe his tomatoes are like super strong. Like maybe he grows.
Are you calling biceps tomatoes?
No. Maybe.
Because my tomatoes are
Oh,
ripe at that.
you've got tomatoes.
Well,
You're wearing a baggy flannel shirt,
always.
and when you flex your tomatoes,
Mm.
that the arms of that baggy flannel shirt become tight.
Well, that's what you want.
Right.
I'm also wearing a beautiful Taylor Swift shirt that I recently received for Christmas, but just yesterday.
Wait, is there a? You can almost see her belly button.
Oh no, I think her belly button's in it.
That's like a
Is
thing
that
for her.
it is?
Yeah, like she was like, no belly buttons for T Swift.
Oh, because it was like she didn't want to be sexualized in such a
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and she said, I want there to be some mystery about my body and whatever. And so she's like, yeah, I try whenever possible to cover my belly button in all situations.
I mean, I get that. She came up in a way that was like, while she was coming up, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and that sort of era of things was just
Yeah.
like on its way out, and she wanted to be a different
Yeah,
pop star of her own ilk. And I get it completely. But now she is Taylor Swift, and
yeah.
fucking Britney Spears could kiss her ass.
Do you
Would kiss her ass
have you
for
seen
a chance at
have you seen Britney Spears lately?
a little bit. Yeah,
It's
it's unfortunate.
yeah,
I mean, shoot, right? Shoot.
right.
That's a person you feel bad for. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's got all the money and fame and all sorts of shit, but like,
It did not go well.
no, everything's fucking coming
Yeah.
up Millhouse.
Yeah.
It's hot in here,
Such
man.
a
These
great
headphones are
Take them
these
on.
headphones are making me hot.
Take one. Be like a pro musician and just
I do that in the studio
one at a time.
because it's easier to hear your own voice
Yeah.
when it's easier than like asking the fucking engineer, be like, "Can I have more of myself in the mix?" You just fucking mix it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And like every live performance on a
In-ear monitor.
like a New Year's Eve show where it's just like a one-off, we're going to do one song kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know, like Super Bowl halftime show, New Year's Eve thing, whatever. And they're on in-ears, invariably you see people yanking them out.
Oh, you got to yank them out because I got to tell you, wearing in-ears is such a fucking isolating and strange feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, since I started wearing them, I can't scream. I can't fucking scream. Yeah, when you wear the in-ear monitors, I wanted them for so long because it's like I want better pitch control, and it's like certainly it does that, but it's like so fucking embarrassing almost. Like you hear everything you do.
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Like, yeah, you can hear your pitch better. I like it a lot for the quieter parts. Because, like, previously when we would be playing, fucking, you would go to the quieter parts where you actually have to be singing quieter, but the music's still quite loud. Like, drums is drums.
Yeah.
You know, drums is drums. They're fucking loud. They're the worst. And you can't hear shit. Yeah. So it's like I had no idea where I was pitch-wise when we were doing that stuff. But then that's what I wanted in-ear monitors for. But for the loud stuff, I was pretty happy before. And now I'm kind of miserable. But you can't go back.
Well, no. But also, it probably protects you a little bit more.
Oh, it protects you a lot more.
Right.
A lot more.
Because you're not trying to hear yourself over those drums that are right behind you. You're not trying to hear yourself. And that's going to help you not like destroy your vocal cords. You know,
it's true. You know, like a lot of the times when it's like the music is loud and you're trying to sing over the music, you're definitely pushing harder than you should be pushing. Yep. But man, I've never had more vocal trouble than I've had since we switched to in-ears. I fucking want to blame it all on in-ears, man.
I would venture to guess
that it's in-ears' fault.
Yes.
God, that's why I like you.
It's really Brian Johnson's fault from AC/DC.
Oh, now Brian Johnson, he was the singer.
Yeah.
He went blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and he was also mostly deaf.
Yeah. They had to stop him from performing because they were like, "You're mostly deaf now. If you keep going out on the road, you will go 100% deaf."
I can't imagine wanting to sacrifice my hearing for rock,
Right.
and that's rock.
Yeah.
That is the pinnacle of rock. Um, is he dead?
Is he dead? No, he's alive. He's actually, I'm pretty sure he performed on their last record.
My word,
He's
he's born in.
there's questions about whether he will perform live shows anymore.
Oh fuck! Well, didn't you
But
just say they tried to stop him?
well, they did, and they replaced him with Axl Rose.
Oh, well, you know what? Actually, I know Axl Rose has this current reputation of being absolutely shot, but I watched some recent performances of his, and I watched the dude from The Darkness analyze one of his performances. He's doing all right, man. Axl Rose is kind of back. Now, racist dickhead,
Sure.
but as far as his vocal performance goes,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as everybody kind of fucking.
Well, and
what's it up to
especially
be?
somebody who's in his what? He's got to be in his late 50s,
At least.
you know, and
Yeah.
and likely did not treat his voice as an instrument.
No, he treated his body to a delightful cocktail of fucking
heroin and booze
medicines.
and cocaine and
How do guys like that live so long, but then like good guys die young?
well,
That,
that's
like,
that's that great Dennis Leary bit about Keith Richards, where he says Keith Richards recently did a PSA where he said kids shouldn't do drugs, and he was like, Keith Richards said kids should not do. Keith, we can't do drugs. You already did them all. We have to wait for you to die and then smoke your ashes because you did all the drugs. Funny. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and Axl did that tour in Dave Grohl's Guitar Throne because Axl had just had surgery, like on his ankle or something.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, "Hey Dave, can I borrow your Guitar Throne for this AC/DC tour?"
They couldn't have picked a more like exciting performer to take the place of Brian Johnson.
Right. Yeah.
Just going, well, I'm going to just sit here this whole time.
Yep.
Because I'm an old fucking man.
Yep.
And I've just had like ankle replacement surgery, probably.
Yep. Whole foot replacement.
Entire foot.
Yep.
I heard. I'm just going to make up a lie about how he lost his entire foot inside somebody.
Yeah, I saw Foo Fighters on the tour when Dave was in his throne. Did that throne?
Holy
tour.
heck!
Yeah, because he pulled a Tim and fell right off the stage.
Wow, Tim might have pulled a Dave.
I think Dave came after Tim.
Now I don't care about the chronology of it. I care about the severity.
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Dave Grohl fucked himself up.
Yes.
Timmy scraped his back a bunch.
Right off the stage, though.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen off of a stage?
Oh fuck yeah! We were touring. The one that comes to mind immediately is, I think we were in Arizona, playing in some weird fucking like plaza with a Waffle House in it. Cage came out, my wife, and we were playing with Architects, Affiance, some other band. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But so Cage and I got a hotel room for the evening. We hadn't seen each other in a minute, so we went back to do some kissing and hugging.
Yeah.
And anyway, she was getting ready for the show, and I sat down at the bar and had a couple whiskeys. And I got to the fucking venue. I was feeling really good, and Cam was there. Cam was playing bass for us at the time. We used to call him Camerica at the time because he had like a fucking skull cap. Like one of those ones that fits right to your head and then ties up in the back and has like a little tie down it. But it was like the American flag. So we called him Camerica. And he was wearing that at the time for sure. And he was like, I said to him, I said, I got to tell you, I am like, boom, right in the zone. Like, I feel so good right now. I'm just perfect drunk.
Right.
I'm the perfect drunk.
amount.
I'm going to go up there. Yeah, I'm going to go up there and fucking nail it. I was like, one more little fucking bit of booze and I would be too much. But right now, perfect. And he goes, cool, man, you want a shot? And I went, yeah, all right.
Oh, Clum.
Yeah, and like honestly, it put me over the edge. Like we always had bottles of fucking JMO.
Yeah.
We're not Guns N' Roses, but we always had a bottle of fucking JMO. And so I just took a swig, and it was like it did it. It for sure did it. Maybe it would have happened either way, but I went on stage and like couldn't catch up with the music.
Yeah.
It was just like like I can't fucking catch up. And maybe people noticed, maybe people didn't, but they certainly noticed when I fucking put my foot on the monitor went, foop, and I fell in between the gap between the fucking barrier and the stage. And just went down, mic came unplugged. Fuck! Fucking Clum!
Did you lay there? Did you just lay there?
No, I got up pretty quick. I'm pretty sure there's footage of it on the internet.
I probably would have just given up.
No, well, you gotta just go. Like, unless you fuck yourself up, you just go. You go, all right, I can't wait for this to be over, but it's not over, so let's go.
I played a show once where I was really very, very drunk.
Yeah, you used to fucking put them away.
Oh, yeah. And I just like walked off the stage in the middle of a song and went to sleep in the bathroom.
So that, like, it seems like that was kind of your move. Like, I didn't know you at a point when you were drinking.
Right. At the end, I woke up asleep on the stairs of my house.
That's some fucking drunk.
Yeah, like on the stairs. Like, at what point did I just was going up the stairs and went, "This is far enough."
Yeah.
You know, it's close enough to the bed. I'll just sleep here.
That's fucking beautiful, man.
That was the end for me. That was the last one. That was the last time for me. I was like, nope. I think it's time to hang this up.
Pack it up.
Yeah, which is fine. Which is great for me.
Speaking of hanging it up, I think we've reached pretty much the end, haven't we?
Yeah. So nothing else.
Oh no.
Do you want to share more? Anything else about PTH? Is there any breaking anything?
I guess yeah. We're working on some tunes. We got about 8 tunes right now. I don't. The guys do.
Well, next time we're going to talk about what that's like.
Yeah, let's talk about the music and that next time.
Yeah.
I think this is a good first one. And you know what? I think you actually have something else.
I do have a thing.
According to this. And I will make sure that I have a thing for you next time.
So people might not know. I get to ask this question a lot. This very specific question.
What
people say,
size are your shoes?
No. People say to me, "Hey Fritz, you know Rody the best out of everyone. Like, there's nobody in the world who knows Rody better than you." People say that to me all the time, every day.
Yeah.
Just passing by on the streets, people just know.
My celebrity is pervasive.
Yes, and I said, well, since you and I have known each other on the internet for like a year and a half.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, and we've hung out in person for like maybe 3 hours tops.
Yeah, it's a good 3 hours though.
I would agree. I know you better than anyone.
Yeah, I've never shown my true self.
So they say
to my mommy or my daddy.
They say to me, so you know the best, Rody the best out of everyone. How did he get the nickname Cheese? And I say, well, that's a great story. It's also a story for another time. And I tell people that hundreds of times. I have told people it's a great story, but it's a story for another time. Well, guess what? Now is that time.
Oh.
So it started in the late 80s when Rody was a boy. Not much older than his own son is now.
That's about right.
And he wanted nothing more in his life than to go to Johnny Bauer's Hickory Hut in Prince Alberta, Saskatchewan. That's all he ever wanted. And so every birthday, he would ask his parents, like, for my birthday, all I want is to go to Johnny Bauer's Hickory Hut in Saskatchewan. And see, every day after school, Rody would go, would spend his time with his grandpa, Jim. And they'd be watching old 8mm films of the great Leafs of the 50s and 60s. That's how Rody spent every day after school.
Grandpa's name was Jim.
I know. So Johnny Bauer, the great Leaf of that era, was Rody's hero. He was Rody's hero. So Rody's parents agreed to take him there. But they lived in southern Ontario. And it's a long drive to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, from southern Ontario.
Is Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, a real place?
But they loaded up the old family truckster with Rody and his sister Gortrube.
Gortrube? Did you say Gortrube?
And the family dog, Spanky.
That's actually a dog's name.
And they drove the 30 hours to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. And Rody couldn't stop thinking about wanting to gorge himself at the Hickory Hut. In order to get their toonies out of the trip.
Hickory?
The Hickory Hut. You wanted to gorge yourself on food there.
What do they sell at a Hickory Hut? Hickory?
It's like barbecue.
Well, what is hickory?
Hickory is a type of wood that they use to smoke the meat.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's why hickory sticks got their names.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look like wood.
So in order for your parents were like, in order to get the most of their money, right, on this trip, they were like, we can't afford for Rody to eat anything along the way on this 30-hour trip. Nothing. And so by the time they reach Johnny Bauer's, this little kid is famished, right? So he's reading the menu. They had barbecue jackets, hickory smoked ox foot, moose knuckles.
Pardon?
And he sat there salivating. He saw a member of the waitstaff carrying what appeared to be a giant bowl of shredded cheese with a spoon sticking out and a dollop of sour cream on top. Ooh. So, like, of course, it's just a bowl of chili, right? With cheese.
Sounds like nice chili.
Sour cream, right? But to a young Rody, that was simply cheese cereal. That's all he thought of it as. It was just a big bowl of cheese and milk. Cheese cereal. So, you might not know this about Rody, but their family doesn't consume dairy ever because of strict religious beliefs that all milk-producing animals are really people in costumes.
What religion?
And therefore, consuming the dairy would be tantamount to cannibalism. So Rody ate a plate of
milky folk.
So at Jimmy Bauer's, Rody eats this plate of fried prairie gators, which are really just northwestern alligator lizards.
What?
That they drop in the fryer. They call them fried prairie gators. And but he just couldn't stop thinking about that bowl of forbidden cheese cereal. And he vowed to himself that day that one day when he was an adult, he would eat cheese cereal every single day. So on his 11th birthday, the traditional Canadian day when boys become men.
Is that the 11th birthday? Is that what you said?
Yep.
That's true, actually, by Canadian tradition.
And they leave the proverbial nest.
Igloo.
Rody he packed his paltry belongings in a rucksack.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but did you say poultry belongings, my chicken stuff?
Poultry. Just your few.
I thought you meant
little.
My chicken stuff. I do have quite a bit of chicken stuff.
Okay. And he hitchhiked to his new apartment. It was a basement apartment in Regent Park, Toronto. He dropped off his rucksack and headed to the nearest Loblaw and purchased a 4-pound bag of shredded medium cheddar cheese and a gallon of whole milk. And I bet you can guess what young Rody did next. Well, duh. He ate a whole bowl of cheese drowned in milk. But that's not the important thing. The important thing was the realization 15 minutes later as he poured liquid cheese from his butthole.
Yep.
into the bucket he had to use as a toilet.
That is pretty much what would happen.
That the religion he was brought up in was just a ruse played out by his parents to save him the embarrassment and shame that comes with being lactose intolerant.
Wow.
And that's how you got the name Cheese.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I Googled Prince Albert while you were doing that. It is a 30-hour drive from my house.
Yeah, I Google mapped it.
I didn't realize it was a true story the whole fucking time.
The whole thing is true. There's not a single lie in there.
No, it's incredible.
All the way down to your sister's name. Sorry for doxing Gortrube on the.
Yeah, you know what? Gertrude is not going to be that stoked, but my half sister Bilford is going to be thrilled.
So I think that's going to wrap her up.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But we'll do this again. We'll get into some stuff about studio time and how the lyrics get written.
Yeah,
I have some questions. I have a list of questions. I made a thing. You
Holy
can't see
shit.
it.
You can almost see that's paper.
Oh, there. See, there's words. You can see if I angle it just so.
My word.
There are words on there. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of those things. We'll delve into those things and on future episodes.
And maybe at some point we'll be getting our balls shaved.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. With any luck?
If anybody knows the Manscaped folks,
yeah, send them our way.
Ding ding.
Yeah. We don't want money. We just want the lawnmower 4.0.
That's right. All right.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you in the future.